Congratulations. God says, I'm sending you 30 million thousand tonight at 8 p.m. Open this now. Your extraordinary blessing is about to arrive, and this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity won't remain open for long. Today, I want you to stop seeing lack as an unchangeable sentence, because I am leading you into a new way of living, built upon peace, wisdom, and steadfast trust. I have seen the nights when you lay still, while your mind continued calculating the times you hid your anxiety, so that your loved ones would not become more burdened, and the moments when you had no idea how you would manage tomorrow. Not one of your sighs has been treated lightly. Not one silent tear has fallen without my knowing. You may have thought that you had to carry every pressure alone, but I have never stood outside your journey. I know that financial anxiety is not contained only in numbers. It enters your sleep, disturbs your composure, makes you question your worth, and sometimes causes life to feel like an endless chain of responsibilities. You fear an unexpected crisis, fear being unable to care for your family, and fear that the years ahead will repeat what earlier generations endured. But my beloved child, your family's past is not a sentence over your future. Difficulties that have existed for many years can still come to an end. When you begin making different choices, thinking differently, and managing what you possess with awareness, I do not want you to wait for a miraculous number while overlooking the power of right choices. Today, my provision does not always appear in the form you expect. It may come through a suitable career opportunity, a clear idea, a healthy relationship, a decision that protects you from loss, or an opportunity you previously lacked the confidence to receive. Sometimes, what you call a miracle begins when you learn to control your spending and a wasteful habit, develop a new skill, or courageously leave a place that no longer nourishes your future. Do not despise small changes, because they can become the foundation of a sustainable life. I am also healing the way you view abundance. You may once have believed that possessing more would immediately remove every pain. But if your heart remains ruled by fear, you may own much and still know no peace. Therefore, the first things I want to give you are a clear mind, a heart that is not controlled by panic, and the ability to distinguish between genuine needs and desires, born from inner emptiness. I do not want money to become your master. I want it to become a tool in your hands for building, caring, and expanding what is good. Do not believe that obedience is an exchange in which I bless you only when you perform an outward ritual. I do not need you to prove your faith through comments, numbers, or actions driven by fear. What I seek is a sincere response expressed in your daily life. It is found when you remain honest, even when no one is checking. Keep your word even when doing so requires sacrifice. Care well for small things before expecting greater ones, and refuse to use desperation as an excuse for unwise choices. True faith is not measured by noise, but by how you live before the result can be seen. I also want you to stop believing that if you miss one moment, your blessing will be stolen forever. What I have prepared for you is not so fragile that it can be destroyed, merely because you were weak or slow to understand. I know your process of growth. I patiently correct, guide, and reopen appropriate opportunities. When you are ready, you do not need to live in panic that someone can steal your portion in life. What matters is that you remain alert to decisions that may damage your own future. Poorly considered loans, invitations that promise results too easily, get-rich-quick plans, without a solid foundation, and relationships that approach you only when you have something to offer. I am teaching you to recognize that true wealth includes more than money. It is the ability to sleep peacefully without debt pursuing you, a family that speaks to one another with respect, health that is properly cared for, time that is not completely sold to meaningless things, and a heart that still knows how to share. When it has more, you can build a legacy, even before you possess great assets. Every time you teach your children honesty, every time you refuse to repeat irresponsible financial habits, and every time you choose to learn rather than blame, you are changing the direction of your entire family. Those who came before you may have lived in lack because they were not given the opportunities, knowledge, or support they needed. Do not despise them. Look upon their journey with gratitude and understanding. They did what they could with what they had, but you are not required to repeat all their limitations. I am giving you the ability to see farther, investigate more carefully, and build what they never had the opportunity to begin. The transformation of a family rarely starts with a dramatic event. It often begins with one person deciding to live in order and refusing to call chaos destiny. Be cautious of financial promises that pressure you to act quickly, make you afraid, or compel you to prove your faith. What comes from wisdom does not need to threaten you. A healthy opportunity can withstand examination, can be considered rationally, and will not require you to exchange your dignity. I do not lead you through panic. I lead you through peace, accompanied by responsibility. When facing a major decision, pause, investigate, ask someone knowledgeable, and do not allow greed or desperation to decide for you. Wisdom is also a form of protection. I am opening your eyes to resources already near you that you once overlooked. It may be a skill you have not fully developed, a professional relationship that needs to be cultivated, an idea that requires serious planning, or an ability to serve others that could become sustainable work. Do not merely ask for a result and then wait in inactivity. Cooperate with what I am revealing. Learn what must be learned, do what must be done, correct what must be corrected, and persevere beyond temporary emotion. I can guide you, but you must still take the steps. When your resources increase, remember the deeper purpose of abundance. I do not want you to use it to create an image that causes others to envy you. I want you to establish safety for your family, repay what you have borrowed, care for the vulnerable, invest in knowledge and open opportunities for those no one has believed in. What I entrust to you is not only meant to make you more comfortable, but to make you someone whose presence reduces lack, injustice, and coldness. The most beautiful form of giving does not make the receiver feel inferior. It helps them stand again on their own feet. You also need to learn how to receive without shame. Some people become so accustomed to lack that when something good comes, they immediately distrust it or sabotage it because they feel unworthy. Do not do this. If a clean opportunity appears, after careful consideration, enter it with gratitude. If someone sincerely wants to help, you may receive without considering yourself weak. Everyone has seasons when they need support and seasons when they are strong enough to support others. Humility is not refusing every good thing, it is recognizing that you did not create everything alone. I have never abandoned you during the difficult months and years. It was precisely in those seasons that I taught you perseverance, helped you understand the value of every amount, and made your heart compassionate toward those who are worried. Those lessons will protect you when your circumstances improve. I do not want abundance to make you forget who you once were. Keep your heart tender, live. Simply, even when you have more choices, and do not allow money to change the way you view people who can offer you no personal benefit. Now breathe slowly and step out of panic. You do not need to solve your entire future in one day. Begin with what is before you: a clear plan, an amount that must be organized, a conversation that needs to happen, a habit that must end, and a skill that needs to be developed. I will accompany you through these practical steps. Peace does not come from knowing everything in advance, but from knowing that you can face each day with clarity. Poverty does not need to continue ruling your mind, even if your circumstances have not completely changed today. At this very moment, you can begin ending its power by refusing to let fear decide, refusing to let shame make you avoid reality, and refusing to let empty promises carry you away from a sustainable path. I am leading you from lack into responsibility, from panic into order, and from helplessness into the ability to act. Walk with me faithfully. What is built through wisdom may not appear overnight, but it will stand through many seasons and become a blessing to those who come after you. What is opening before you is not meaningless chance, but the result of a process I have quietly arranged to lead you out of the cycle of lack and into a purposeful life. You once thought abundance could be measured only by numbers in an account, but what I am preparing is broader and deeper than that. I want to place this in your hands: the ability to build, preserve, share, and open a path for those who come after you. I do not merely want to rescue you from days of constant struggle. I want you to become the first person in your family who is aware enough to change the way you think, manage, and pass down good values. True transformation does not begin when you possess much, but when you understand that what you receive must serve a purpose greater than yourself. You have carried the anxiety of many generations, sometimes without even knowing how to name it. There are habits formed by scarcity, decisions born from fear, and pessimistic statements passed from one person to another as though they were an unchangeable destiny. You have heard that people in your family can only live with barely enough, that great opportunities always belong to others, and that dreams are a luxury for those who began with empty hands. But I do not want you to despise those who came before you. They did their best within the limits of their knowledge and circumstances. Your part is to be grateful for what they endured, while courageously refusing to repeat what kept the entire family trapped. Your obedience today is not a hurried declaration or an action driven by fear. It is choosing honesty when deception appears easier, practicing patience when your heart wants to rush, and managing small things well, even when no one recognizes you. One wise decision today may become safety for your descendants tomorrow. One corrected habit may end many years of chaos. Money saved at the right time, a skill developed seriously, a debt handled responsibly, or an educational opportunity you create for someone else can become a very real miracle in their life. I do not work only through great events. I also build the future through quiet choices that you faithfully repeat each day. You once asked me why so many doors close just as you thought you were about to enter. You were hurt by rejection, failed plans, and opportunities that seemed to be in your hands, before suddenly disappearing. You watched others advance while you returned to the starting point, and you thought I had forgotten you. But my beloved child, not every closed door is punishment. There are places I did not allow you to enter because behind their outward splendor was a cost that could have damaged your peace, honor, and calling. There are relationships that would have made you dependent on people who were not sincere. There are forms of success that, if they came too early, would place you in a position your character was not yet strong enough to preserve. I allowed you to wait, not because I wanted to prolong your pain, but because there were things that needed to be built within you before something greater could be entrusted to your hands. You needed to learn the difference between an opportunity and a temptation, between sincere assistance and an agreement hidden behind attractive promises. You needed to learn to say no to fast paths that lacked integrity, and to leave places that demanded you exchange your dignity for acceptance. If you do not know how to maintain boundaries, abundance may attract people who only want to use you. If you do not know how to manage your emotions, money may become a way of concealing wounds instead of building a future. Therefore, your waiting season was not empty. It became a quiet school of maturity. When the proper season comes, you will recognize that what once seemed like loss made room for something healthier. An old opportunity may return in a more suitable form. Someone far away may bring a recommendation you never expected. An idea you once abandoned may suddenly become clear and achievable. A meeting that appears accidental may help you see a new path, but do not quickly call every invitation a sign from me. What is healthy will not pressure you to decide in panic, require you to hide the truth, or force you to gamble your future on promises without a foundation. I lead you through clarity, accompanied by peace, not through greed or fear of missing out. The resources that come to you will not bring shame or require you to exchange yourself. I do not want you to receive something outwardly while inwardly becoming a prisoner of pressure, control, or guilt. A true blessing does more than fill your hands. It brings greater calm to your mind, greater purity to your relationships, and greater order to your life. If something requires you to abandon honesty, neglect your family, or live in continual anxiety, you must pause and examine it. Not everything that appears impressive belongs to you. What I have prepared for you will agree with the values I am building and will not require you to become a stranger to yourself. The adversary has repeatedly used financial pressure to distract you. When you are consumed by what you will use to pay tomorrow's expenses, it becomes difficult to hear new ideas, care for your health, or remain patient with your family. Stress makes you more likely to make hurried decisions, believe short-term promises, and accept treatment beneath your dignity because you fear losing your source of provision. But I am teaching you how to escape that rule. You will no longer allow fear to force you into reacting. You will learn to face numbers calmly, make plans honestly, and seek help when necessary without treating it as shameful. I want you to move from a posture of mere survival into the ability to build sustainably. This may not happen in a single night, but it can begin today. You can begin by understanding what you have, what you owe, what you are wasting, and which abilities need development. You can stop using money to prove your worth before others. You can end the habit of purchasing things merely to soothe inner emptiness. You can choose to invest in knowledge, health, and tools that make your work more effective. Each small adjustment is a stone placed into a new foundation. I do not despise gradual progress, because what is built correctly will not easily collapse when circumstances change. When you have more, you will no longer have to live in a posture of begging for pity. Yet I do not want you to turn independence into pride that makes you unable to receive or share. There are seasons when you need support from others, and seasons when you are able to support them. I want you to become someone who gives with respect, who does not use assistance to control, and who does not repeatedly mention what was given, in order to make the receiver emotionally indebted. The most beautiful generosity helps others recover their ability to stand. You may offer employment, share knowledge, support a child's education, or help a family pass through hardship while preserving their dignity. What I entrust to you will be a stewardship, not a crown that places you above. Others, you have known what it feels like to be rejected and invisible. So when you enter a place of influence, remember those who have no voice. You once had to wait for an opportunity, so do not close the door to someone who has ability but has never been trusted. You once needed encouragement, so speak words that strengthen, instead of using power to make others afraid. When abundance makes you more compassionate, it fulfills its purpose. When it makes you cold, distant, and concerned, only with protecting your own interests, you have forgotten why it was given. Do not concern yourself with explaining every change to those who once doubted you. They may say you were lucky, that someone supported you, or that you happened to be in the right place. You do not need to argue until they acknowledge your journey. Let the order of your life speak. Let the way you care for your family, remain humble, and use resources for the good of others become the evidence. A restored story does not need many defenses. When people see that, lack no longer makes you bitter. Success does not make you proud, and you have not forgotten your difficult days. They will recognize that a greater hand has guided you. I remembered you even during the seasons when you felt invisible. I saw you faithful in small work, keeping your heart upright without recognition and continuing forward without knowing where the reward would come from. But something greater does not come merely because you have endured for a long time. It comes when you have learned how to carry it without allowing it to destroy your peace. Now, continue preparing yourself. Do not remain still waiting for a miracle while ignoring what lies within your ability. Learn, plan, build healthy relationships, and keep your hands clean from easy but questionable paths. I can open the way, but you must enter with maturity. What I am writing for you is not the story of someone who suddenly gains a great amount of money, but the story of a family transformed from its roots. Fear will be replaced by understanding. Chaos will give way to order. Secrets about debt will be replaced by honest conversations. Children will grow up no longer believing that scarcity is their identity. Those who come after you will inherit not only assets but a culture of work, self-control, generosity, and responsibility. This is the kind of wealth that cannot easily be taken away. Therefore, remain peaceful and keep moving forward. What is right? For you will come through paths I allow, sometimes familiar and sometimes unexpected. You do not need to chase every promise, nor fear that someone else will steal what belongs to you. Keep your heart clear, your mind awake, and your hands ready to work. When the door opens, you will know how to walk through without losing yourself, and when you look back, you will understand that the delay was not wasted time. It was the place where I transformed someone who merely wanted to escape hardship into someone with enough depth to build, preserve, and pass down a legacy of peace through many generations. You were not created to remain imprisoned by lack for your entire life. You were called to become a source of peace, support, and blessing to those I place along your path. I have given you intelligence to learn, hands to work, creativity to open ways, and perseverance to build things that last. These abilities are not outside of you, nor are they reserved for a few special people. They were planted in you long ago, but there were seasons when you could not recognize them, because fear, disappointment, and negative words concealed them now. I am awakening a new vision within you, so that you no longer see yourself as a victim of circumstances, but as someone who can begin again through faith, wisdom, and responsible choices. I want you to understand that true abundance is not display, nor is it a race to prove yourself better than others. It is having enough clarity not to be controlled by money, enough order to care for your family, enough generosity to support those in difficulty, and enough freedom not to exchange your dignity for temporary safety. I have not called you to become someone who only accumulates, but someone who knows how to steward. What I place in your hands must be preserved through honesty, self-control, and a purpose greater than personal benefit. When you know how to use what you possess to create a better life around you, that wealth carries true value. The obedience I seek is not made of impressive declarations spoken in an emotional moment. It is doing what is right when no one sees, maintaining discipline before results appear, and refusing shortcuts that may damage your future. There are doors that look attractive, but require you to conceal the truth, violate your principles, or exploit others. Do not enter merely because you are impatient. What I give you will not require dishonest behavior in order to possess it. I want you to build a clean foundation, because what is constructed through deception will always leave your heart afraid. Proper growth may be slower than you desire, but it will not force you to fear whenever the truth draws near. Pay attention to the words you repeatedly speak to yourself. There are statements you have repeated for so long that they have become an invisible cage. I cannot do this. My family will never improve. Every good opportunity belongs to someone else, and this is the only way I can live. I want you to stop giving authority to words that make you small, but do not use speech like magic to deny reality. Speak truth with faith. You are learning to manage better. You are capable of growth. You are not required to repeat old mistakes. You can repay each debt through a clear plan, and you can create a different future through perseverance. These words are not fantasies. They become direction for your actions. Let your words and your steps move together. If you say you are blessed, live with gratitude instead of wastefulness. If you believe you were chosen for a good purpose, develop your abilities instead of waiting passively. If you desire freedom from debt, face the numbers. Honestly, make a plan and remove habits that drain your resources. If you want to become generous, begin by being faithful with small things. I can open new paths, but you must walk through them with a prepared life. Faith does not exempt you from responsibility. Faith enables you to face responsibility without being paralyzed by fear. I am protecting you not only from outward loss, but also from hurried decisions within. Sometimes the greatest thief is not a stranger, but impatience, greed, the need to prove yourself, or the habit of spending to soothe sadness. I want you to remain alert to these things. Consider carefully before making a major commitment. Investigate before investing. Listen to knowledgeable people and do not be ashamed when you need advice. Wisdom does not make your faith smaller. It helps what is good remain protected for a long time. A blessing must not only be received, but also guarded through maturity. I am also caring for your family in ways deeper than money. I want there to be fewer sighs in your home, fewer arguments born from pressure, and less heavy silence around matters no one dares to discuss. Begin creating a different atmosphere through honesty. Speak about finances without humiliating one another. Make plans together, agree on what is necessary and what can wait. Teach your children to value work, practice restraint, and share. What you pass down is not only property, but also the way they view responsibility, gratitude, and peace. This is a legacy that cannot easily be taken away. Cycles of poverty do not end. Merely because a large amount of money appears they end. When thinking changes, discipline is formed, and truth enters places once filled with secrecy and shame. You can be the person who begins that change. Not by denying your family's difficulties, but by refusing to make them your destiny. Those before you may have lacked opportunities, knowledge, or lived within extremely narrow limitations. Honor what they endured, but do not continue calling every limitation. They carried a required part of your own life. I have given you the ability to see farther, so that you can build a new path for those who come after you. Do not compare your journey with anyone else's. Some people grow quickly, while others need many years to rebuild their foundation. What you see outwardly does not tell you what they carry inwardly or the price they have paid. If you continually look to the side, you will become either insecure or proud. Both will cause you to lose focus. I am leading you along a path suitable for what you need to learn and what has been entrusted to you. There are lessons unique to you that no one else can learn in your place. There are doors not meant for others, but they also cannot open early while you are not yet steady enough to enter. Your waiting season has not been useless. During those years, I showed you what makes you vulnerable, who sincerely walks beside you, and what needs to be corrected. You learned how to live with less, so when you have more, you can understand the value of every resource. You know what it feels like to need help, so in the future you will not despise those in difficulty. You have experienced rejection, so when you have the ability to open a door for someone else, you will remember to offer opportunity fairly. Difficult seasons did not define you, but they can train you to use abundance with compassion. When good things come, do not rush to boast or reveal every plan to people who have not proven their sincerity. This is not because you must live suspiciously, but because young seeds need protection until they have developed roots. Allow the result to mature quietly. Be grateful without displaying yourself. Move forward without despising those who are slower, and succeed without forgetting the days when you struggled. I do not want what you possess to become a wall between you and others. I want it to become a table with additional seats for those who need encouragement and support. Remain close to me, not only when you need a door to open, but also when life is going well. Do not allow abundance to make you forget the peace that kept you during uncertain days. Maintain the habit of gratitude. Keep your heart tender and regularly examine the purpose behind what you pursue. Some things bring more money, but steal time, health, and precious relationships. You need to know what is worth building and what is merely the appearance of success. I do not want you to gain everything and then realize that you have lost the very home within your heart. Now you are entering a new season, but the greatest reward is not only what comes into your hands. It is the person you are becoming, calmer under pressure, wiser before opportunities, more honest about your limitations, and more confident in the abilities I have placed within you. Continue learning, working, praying, and acting. Speak words that nourish hope, but also live in a way that gives that hope a foundation. I am rewriting your story with grace, order, and purpose. This new chapter is not called display or competition. It is called peace, responsibility, abundance, and a beautiful legacy passed from one generation to another.